bucket hat, you are going to need number 3 DK lightweight yarn. You need 100% cotton yarn in the colors dark navy blue, white and red. Also, you're going to need a pair of scissors, measuring tape, stitch markers, a number 3.5mm hook, and a tapestry needle. All of these materials will be listed in the description box below. Go ahead and grab your white yarn, and we're going to start off to make this star square, which you are going to make 7 of for this bucket hat. So to begin, we're going to begin with a magic ring. And if you do not know how to make a magic ring, you can always just chain 4 and then connect with the slip stitch, and then you're going to work into the middle of that circle. So into the magic ring, I'm going to place 10 single crochets. Now I'm going to pull on my small tail, and I'm going to pull the circle closed, cinch it nice and tight, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the very first stitch. And slip stitch to close the little circle. Now you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to work down this chain until we reach the base again. So we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Now single crochet into the second chain, half double crochet into the next chain, and double crochet into the last chain. And this is the first point of our star. Now you're going to skip the next stitch, and then you're going to slip stitch into the following stitch. And we are going to repeat this pattern until we have 5 points. I will show you again. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet into the second chain from the hook, single crochet into the next chain, half double crochet into the next chain, and double crochet into the last chain. Now skip the next stitch and slip stitch into the following stitch. Repeat this 3 more times, and I will meet you back when I reach the end. So I've reached the end of my star pattern, and this is what it's going to look like now. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to finish off my white yarn. And I'm going to pull through my tail. And now I'm going to quickly weave in these 2 ends. I am back, and I finished weaving in my ends for my star. So now I'm going to continue to crochet around my star. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use red to show you the stitches, because I think with the navy you can't see properly what I'm doing. But for this bucket hat, you are going to make 7 navy squares. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect my yarn to the top of my star. I'm going to place my hook on the tippity top of my star. And I'm just going to grab my yarn and chain one. Now we're going to work in between the points of the star. So now we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. And you can see I'm working over my yarn tail just to weave it in as I go. Next, you're going to half double crochet into the next stitch. Double crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to double crochet two together in the middle of our point here. So this is where we made the slip stitch. And we're not going to work into the slip stitch. You're going to place your first double crochet in this stitch, and then you're going to place the next double crochet into the following stitch. So to double crochet two together, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two. Oops, let's try that again. Yarn over, pull through two. Now you're not going to finish this double crochet, you're going to continue to the next stitch. You're going to yarn over, place it into the bottom of the double crochet on the next chain we made there. This is the bottom of the double crochet. So place your hook into that chain. Can sometimes be a bit difficult, but it's fine. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two, and now you're going to yarn over and pull through all three loops on your hook, and that's your double crochet two together. Next, you're going to double crochet into the next stitch. So you are working on the bottom of the chain that we made for our point of our star. Next, you're going to half double crochet into the next stitch. And then single crochet into the top of the star. Grab that top loop there. And then place your single crochet into that stitch. And this is what's going to create our first straight line. So we're going to create straight lines to work our square into. Okay, so now you're going to go to the next point and we're going to repeat what we just did. So you're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Half double crochet into the following stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, then double crochet two together, and here we have our bottom of our double crochet from the previous row. Double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet into the top of the star. So now you're going to repeat this pattern 3 more times until you reach the end, and I will meet you when I get there. So I've reached the end of my round, and I'm going to place my last single crochet where I placed my chain 1 in the beginning of the round. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet I made in the beginning. So slip stitch. And now you can continue on to round 2. For round 2, we're going to begin with a chain 1. And you're going to place a single crochet into the same space that you made the chain 1. Next, you're going to single crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the following stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, and now we're going to form the corner of our square. So what you're going to do is you're going to place a double crochet into the next stitch. Now you're going to chain 2 and place a double crochet into the same space that we just put the first double crochet, which is going to be that guy. So place your next double crochet into the same space, and this is going to be our first corner. Now we're going to create another straight edge. You're going to double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the following stitch, and now you're going to place one single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So that's single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we have just made is this first row here. And now we're going to continue on with the rest of our square. So we're going to make a tiny square first and then move on to the bigger square. So we're going to repeat what we just did. You're going to half double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet into the following stitch, form a corner. So you're going to double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, and place another double crochet into that same stitch. Now double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the following stitch, and one single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now you've created another corner and straight edge. So we're going to repeat what we just did 2 more times, and then I will meet you back when I reach the end. So I've just finished my 4th corner, and I'm just going to show you where I'm going to place my last 4 stitches. So I made my corners double crochet, so I need a double crochet, half double crochet, and 2 single crochets. So you're going to double crochet, half double crochet, and 1 single crochet into the following 2 stitches. Now you're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet you made. And that is row 2. So you will have a bit of a point, But what we are going to need of this square is that the amount of stitches line up with each other. There must be 10 stitches in between every corner. And now you're going to continue on to the last row. So for round 3, you're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into the same stitch as the chain 1. Now you're going to half double crochet in each of the following stitches until you reach the corner. When you reach the corner, you're going to place 1 half double crochet, chain 2, 1 half double crochet into the same space. So that's 1 half double crochet, chain 2, and another half double crochet into the very same corner. And now you must always remember to place your next half double crochet into the following stitch. That is very important so that all of our stitches line up. So now we're going to half double crochet in each stitch across until you reach the next corner. In the next corner, you're going to do the same you just did in the previous one. You're going to place 1 half double crochet into that space, chain 2, and half double crochet into the same space. So all of your sides, all 4 sides, will have a total of 12 half double crochets on each side. You are counting the half double crochets that are placed into each corner. So for this side, we have a total of 12 half double crochets. So continue with this pattern of half double crochet into each stitch across, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet in each corner, and I will meet you when I reach the beginning of this square again. Alright, so I have reached the end of my square, and now you will see I have 6 stitches on this side and 6 stitches on this side, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet made and finish off. And now I'm going to weave in this end and cut off this end that I worked in. So here we have our finished star square. You can make your 7 navy squares because the top of the hat is navy as well. I am going to add my red little square. It's the imperfect things that make things perfect. Leave a comment down below if you agree with me, and I'm going to finish the rest of my squares and I will meet you back to connect them and then finish off our bucket hat. After you've made all 7 your squares, you're going to lay them in front of you in a row with all of the stars pointing to the top. And you're going to start to connect your squares from the left to the right. So now we're going to move on to connect our squares. And as I said, you're going to start from left to right. And I'm going to place the first 2 squares on top of each other with the right sides facing each other. So this is the right side and this is the wrong side. And now I'm going to rotate the squares to the right or clockwise to work on the side of the squares. To move on, I'm just going to inspect the squares with you. You will see the chain 2 of the corner space on this right hand side, and the chain on the further side is your first chain you will work into. So using your tapestry needle, you're going to go through that chain and through the next chain, through both loops to connect the yarn to the squares, and pull through, and then you're going to leave a long yarn tail to weave in at the end. So you're going to take your needle and insert it into the front loop of the front square and the back loop of the back square, and pull through the yarn, making sure you're not taking your tail with, and pull it tight. Now you're going to go into the front loop again and the back loop of the back square and pull through. And this is the easy way we're going to connect our square. You can just keep on repeating to yourself, front loop of the front square and back loop of the back square, and you're going to repeat this until you reach the last stitch. Now I've reached the last stitch, and I'm going to do exactly the same as in the beginning. I'm going to place my needle into both loops of this chain, and then the same on the other side, and then just pull through. And now I'm going to weave in this yarn tail. So I've finished weaving in my tails, and this is how our connected squares are looking. And now I'm going to continue to connect my squares using the same technique I just did. So for the third square, I'm going to lay my 2 squares on top of the next one, and now I'm going to rotate it clockwise again, and I'm going to connect my yarn to the first stitch on the right hand side, and I'm going to use exactly the same technique until I reach the end, and I'm going to continue to connect all my squares until I am finished, and I will meet you back when we have a row of connected squares. So what we're going to do now is you're going to connect your first and your last square together to form a circle. And the right side is facing inward now. So I'm just going to place my last square against my first square, and I'm going to repeat the technique that I did in the beginning with my piece of yarn, weaving it through my side of my squares, and that will leave me with a nice circle to work with. So I'm going to go on and continue that, and I will meet you back when I have my circle finished. Alright, so I have finished connecting my squares and I am left with a circle, and now we are going to work on the top of our hat to build our bucket hat. And what I'm going to do now is it is flipped on the wrong side now, as you can see, and I'm going to flip it over, flip my circle over, and now the front is facing forward. So this is how our circle is looking now with my random red square in the middle. I quite like it. And we are going to continue to the top of our bucket hat. So let's get a move on and start doing that. So now we're going to close the top of the hat, and this is how we know that it's going to be the top of the hat when our star is facing upwards, and this is the front of our squares. So this is going to be the top of the hat, and here is the bottom of the hat. So what we're going to do now is connect our yarn in between one of the squares, and then we're going to go and single crochet around. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your navy yarn and you're going to insert your hook in between one of the squares where you connected the squares. So insert your hook at the top of that middle part, and then I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it through. I'm just going to tie a knot. I will be working over this yarn. Insert my hook into where the yarn was placed. To start round 1, you're going to chain 1 and single crochet in the next 12 stitches. Now you've reached the part where your corner spaces are, and you are now going to single crochet 2 together into the corner spaces. So you see this is the chain 2 space made by the previous round, and this is also a chain 2 space made by the previous round. So you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, and insert your hook and pull up a loop, and now you're going to pull through all 3 loops for a single crochet 2 together. Now you're going to continue to single crochet in the next 12 stitches until you reach the next corner space. I've reached my next corner spaces, and I'm going to single crochet 2 together into the corner spaces. So insert, pull through, and insert, pull through, and yarn over, pull through all 3 stitches. And now you're going to repeat the pattern from single crocheting 12 and then single crochet 2 together in the corner spaces until we reach the beginning of the round again. So I've reached the end of row 1, and I have 1 corner space left until my beginning stitch. So for this corner space, I'm going to skip the space, and I'm going to slip stitch directly into the first single crochet I made. Remember, the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So at the end of row 1, you should have a total of 90 single crochets around, and you can move on to round 2. To begin round 2, you're going to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so your first stitch will be just below that chain 1, and you'll be working only into the back loop of every stitch. So you're going to half double crochet into the next 7 stitches into the back loop only of each stitch. Now half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches into the back loop only. So to half double crochet 2 together, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, 5 loops on the hook, and now you're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. Next you're going to half double crochet into the next 7 stitches into the back loop only of each stitch. Half double crochet 2 together into the next 2 stitches. Now repeat this pattern of 7 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet 2 together until you reach the end, and I will meet you back when I get there. I've reached the end of round 2, and at the end of this round you should have 80 half double crochet stitches, and now you're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet made in this round, and you're going to move on to round 3 of your bucket hat. To begin round 3, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to work normally into each stitch, so you're not going to work into the back loop of the stitch. The chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and you should half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Now half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches. And your repeat for this round is going to be 1 half double crochet over the next 6 stitches. and then half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches. And you're going to repeat this until the end of your round, where you will have 3 stitches remaining, and I will meet you when I get there. I have reached the end of my round and I have 3 stitches remaining, and now I'm going to half double crochet in each of the remaining 3 stitches. 1, 2 and 3, and at the end of this round you will have 70 stitches. Now you're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch to close off round 3. Moving on to round 4, you're going to chain 1 and half double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then half double crochet 2 together, and this is your repeat for this round. 1 half double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, and half double crochet 2 together. So you're going to repeat your 5 half double crochets and half double crochet 2 together until you reach the end of your round. At the end of round 4 you should have 50 stitches, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet made for this round. For round 5 you're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and half double crochet into the following 2 stitches, and your repeat for this round will be 1 half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, and half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches. So again, the repeat for this round is 1 half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, and 1 half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches. And I will meet you back when I reach the end, where I will have 2 stitches remaining. So I've reached the end of round 5 and I have 2 stitches left, which I'm going to place 1 half double crochet into each stitch and slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, and at the end of round 5 you should have 50 stitches left. For round 6 you're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into each of the following 3 stitches, then half double crochet 2 together, and this is your repeat for this round. You're going to half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, and then followed by a half double crochet 2 together. I will finish this round and I will meet you when I reach the end. At the end of round 6 you should have a total of 40 half double crochets in this round. I am going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet of the round, and to start off round 7 we're going to chain 1 half double crochet and half double crochet 2 together, and the repeat for this round is going to be 2 half double crochets. So it's 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then followed by a half double crochet 2 together. So again, you're going to place 2 half double crochets over the next 2 stitches. So that's 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches, and you will repeat this pattern until you reach the end where you will have 1 stitch remaining. At the end of round 7 you should have 30 stitches remaining in round 7, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. Now for round 8 you're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into the first stitch. Then you're going to half double crochet 2 together and repeat this until you reach the end of the round. So that's 1 half double crochet, half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches, 1 half double crochet, and half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches, and you're going to repeat this until you reach the end of your round. At the end of row 8 you should have 20 half double crochets, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. And now for the last round of our top of the hat, you're going to chain 1 and half double crochet 2 together in each stitch across. So when I say that, you're going to half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches. Let's just try that again. Half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches, and then again half double crochet 2 together, repeating this until you reach the end. At the end of this round you're going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. You should have a total of 10 stitches left. Now I'm going to finish off my yarn and pull through the stitch. And now to close up this gap, I'm going to attach the yarn to your tapestry needle. And now we're going to weave this tail through the front loop of every stitch until we reach the beginning again. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you can gonna pull this tightly, pull on the little tail, and then you cinched in your top of your hat. And I'm just going to poke my tapestry needle through, and I'm going to weave it in through a few stitches. And now I'm going to cut off my yarn. And there we have the top of our hat finished. Now we are moving on to the last portion of our hat, and we're going to attach our yarn again like we did in the beginning. And I will meet you back to finish off the brim of our bucket hat. Okay, so we are at the last portion for our bucket hat, and we're going to do the brim now. So we're going to connect our yarn the same way we did for the top of our hat. You're going to find a space between two squares and insert your hook. Then grab your white yarn this time, and we're going to pull through and tie a little knot. Now I'm going to insert my hook and chain 1 to start off round 1 for our brim. Now I'm going to single crochet into the next 12 stitches until I reach the next corner space. Into the corner space we're going to single crochet 2 together. So we're going to crochet these 2 spaces together like we did before. So insert, pull through, and insert into the next corner space and pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. And now you're going to continue with the pattern. You're going to single crochet into each of the next 12 stitches and then single crochet 2 together in the corner space. Now you're going to single crochet 2 together into the next corner space and repeat this pattern until you reach the end. And I'm going to finish this round and I will meet you back when I get there. At the end of round 1 you will have 90 single crochets and you will skip the next corner space that is left, slip stitch into the first single crochet. So you will have 90 single crochets in this first round. Moving on to round 2, you're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into each stitch around. So continue to half double crochet around and I will meet you back when I get there. At the end of round 2 you will have 90 half double crochets. So go ahead and slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round. But for this round we are going to finish off our white yarn. And now I'm going to continue on to my third round. So for round 3 we've already chained 1 and now we're going to half double crochet into the front loops only for this round. And you're going to half double crochet into the next 4 stitches and you're going to half double crochet into the front loop only. Now you're going to increase into the next stitch, and increasing means we're going to place 2 half double crochets into the same stitch but working still into the front loop only. So grab the front loop, that's 1 and 2 into the same stitch. Your repeat for this round will be 1 half double crochet into the front loop only of the next 8 stitches and then increase into the following stitch. I'm just going to count. There's my increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're going to increase into the next stitch of the front loop only. 1 and 2. Now you're going to repeat this pattern until you have 4 stitches remaining at the end of your round. At the end of this round you will have 4 stitches remaining, so you're going to place 1 half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, and at the end of the round you will have a total of 100 half double crochets. And now you can slip stitch to the very first half double crochet of the round, and we're going to move on to round 4. For round 4 you're going to start with a chain 1, and now you're going to half double crochet into each of the following 9 stitches, and then you're going to increase into the next stitch. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and now increase into the next stitch. Again, you're going to half double crochet into each of the following 9 stitches, and increase into the next stitch. And you're going to repeat this pattern until you reach the end. At the end of round 4 you should have a total of 110 half double crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the first half double crochet to move on to round 5. So after round 4 we're going to change colors once again. For round 5 you're going to half double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches and then increase. And then increase into the next stitch. Your repeat for this round is going to be 1 half double crochet into each of the next 10 stitches and then increase into the following stitch and increase into the next stitch. And you will repeat this pattern until you reach the end where you will have 5 stitches remaining. I have reached the end of round 5, and now I'm going to half double crochet in each of the 5 remaining stitches. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet made, and at the end of this round you should have a total of 120 stitches. For round 6 you are going to chain 1 and half double crochet into the next 11 stitches, and you're going to increase into the next stitch. So you're going to repeat this pattern of 11 half double crochets and increase until you reach the end. At the end of row 6 you're going to have a total of 130 half double crochets in this round, and now I'm going to slip stitch into my first half double crochet, and I'm going to change colors once again. For rows 7 and 8 you will start with a chain 1 and then half double crochet into each stitch across. So you will repeat this round for round 7 and round 8. So you're going to half double crochet into each stitch across, and I will meet you back at the end of round 8. At the end of round 8, I'm going to slip stitch into my first half double crochet, and I'm going to change colors to white one last time. And for round 9, we are going to do exactly the same and half double crochet into each stitch around. At the end of this round, I'm going to slip stitch into my first half double crochet, and now I'm going to finish off and weave in all of my yarn tails. And there you have your finished bucket hat. This is a beautiful paid tribute that I've made for the 4th of July. You can always go ahead and crochet with other colors if you'd like. I made this one as well. It's just using some scrap yarn that I had at hand, and they came out quite beautiful. This is the first patriotic bucket hat of 2022, and I hope you enjoyed making this crochet pattern. Please feel free to tag me on Instagram if you recreate this pattern. I would love to see what you make. I'm supposed to take videos.